again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion?
So much. I'm so glad to be here in the studios of Unity 93.3 FM this lovely Wednesday morning, the 18th day in the month of October 2023. Beatrice Adamu Iji remains my name, the anchor of the program Unity Train this morning. Today's edition, of course, remains interesting too. This is because I have in the studio this morning an in-house analyst and a political scientist, Mr. Shaibu Udoro. Shaibu Udoro, good morning.
Thank you, Kulbi. Good morning, viewer and listener. Thank you very much for staying tuned. We look forward to an interesting interaction as usual.
Yes, of course, we look forward for an interesting interaction as usual.
Yes.
And you're making me feel like maybe I should just say thank God it's Friday already.
But it's actually not Friday.
It's actually
it's
not
Wednesday,
Friday.
isn't it?
You're making me feel I should just go ahead and say thank God it's Friday already.
Well,
you're looking just Friday.
Yeah, you're used to saying that. Maybe maybe
you're
because
looking
of the
Friday
native
already,
outfit and things like that.
It's good on you anyway. That's what I mean to say.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for the compliment. Well, every day is Friday as long as we're happy,
Yes.
and united, and being our brother's keeper and all of that. So every day is actually Friday.
Yes, every day is
Friday,
especially because we look forward to being blessed by God.
Yeah, we have always been blessed by God.
So
we can't be grateful enough, Kobe. We're here again, hale and hearty, strong and energetic and ready to go again. Yeah, so it's a blessing.
So thank you very much at this point in time. You cannot give what you do not have inside of you. And so try to have some peace inside of you, and by so you'll be able to extend same to someone outside and someone next to you. And by so doing, imagine the kind of a society that we would have. Peace is possible. And this is a piece of message coming from me, Beatrice Adamu Iji, this lovely Wednesday morning. And so let's begin the segment as usual. We would always look at, we pick one or two issues as we have them trending on our national dailies, and so we see what we'll do. This one is coming from The Nation, and it says, Ndume's plenary walkout unsettles Senate. Doro, you have a lot to say here.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
as usual.
Yes, as usual. You have a lot to say as usual. But of course, not having to read through the whole gist, the whole story. Now, how can a representative of the people walk out of a plenary, the reason for which he is there? Was he able to have tabled everything? Has he been able to listen to other issues brought on? I'm sure something must have been the reason. Otherwise, such an individual will not do anything like that.
Yeah, well, we will say, first of all, that it's unfortunate. But before we go into the story, it could be, as we have always done with our community of intelligent listeners, we must say thank you for their loyalty and patience and all. Yesterday after the program, even after the program, a lot of them kept sending messages to say,
yes,
you guys are doing a great job and things like that.
Okay.
So we want to say thank you for all of that. There's this particular person, a good friend, an ex-student, and of course a very brilliant and pretty lady who also is an ardent listener of ours. And she just texted to say, yeah, I'm tuned as usual and ready to I hear what you guys have to say. I'm talking about Hawa Usale Abbas. She's always there to hear what these two guys have to say. She hardly calls and all of that, but she's always there. And I want to say thank you, Hawa Usale Abbas, for always being there, for always, giving us that push to actually keep going and things. And many others whose name we actually practically can't mention here and all of that.
Mr. Doro, very brief, of course. You just remind me that I need to also say this on this platform. One of our listeners, Mr. Kingsley Barnabas, who will always call and say who they do us. Before even yesterday, he would always call about reckless driving in the city of Jos, particularly Terminus Market. He would always call reckless driving. Even some of these commercial bus driver will be having siren.
Yes.
Do you understand? And then yesterday he called to report that there was a terrible accident because of overspeeding in such a crowded area. So you can imagine. So we call out the relevant authority. We have been encouraged that when you see something, say something. Yeah. And then Unity FM is giving the people a platform. When they see something, they say something. But we want it to be that when we see something and say something, we want something to be done. To be done, definitely. So if the needful had been done, we wouldn't have been seeing such reckless driving and then just knocking people and killing people. And we like we keep saying, are we going to be contending? Are we contending with banditry, or insurgency, or armed robbery or kidnapping, or we are going to be contending now with deaths resulting from reckless driving and all of that? I think we need to actually do something about that. We have to be alive to be able to eat and drink and have fun and go and work and make money and live with family and all of that. And we can't afford to. I mean, like we have always said, we want to be around a little longer. We don't want to leave anytime soon. Yes. So we call the PPRO. Please just help us do this. Your men, deploy your men, let them do this for us. It's getting out of hand and people are getting to, lost their lives there. So our heart goes to anyone who is in pain as a result of any of such as reckless driving in the city of Jos and so on. So let's go back to us. Let's not get too carried away. Back to us. So yesterday, of course, it was quite incidental, wasn't it? Ali Ndumi actually had to stage a walk out of the Senate during plenary, and that was what made it a little more unfortunate, more unfortunate could be. It was during plenary and all of that. I think that, of course, Ndume was trying to draw the Senate President's attention to what he calls the manner in which the Senate was or is actually being run, by Senator, Godswill Akpabio, the Senate President, and then he attempted to cite Order 54, of the House of the Senate rules, But then, of course, when he started talking and apparently trying to draw attention to the manner, in which the Senate is being run by Senate President Akpabio, apparently he sounded so critical, and probably it didn't go down well with Senator Akpabio. So there and then, Senator Akpabio actually asked for a copy of the House rules, and then immediately cited, Order 54, which unfortunately, I didn't actually give Ndume a leeway or any, opportunity to actually say what he wanted to say, as far as the, modus operandi of the Senate is actually concerned. This is the issue. In other words, according to the Senate President and other senators who spoke on the issue after that incident, Order 54 was not actually what Ali Ndume should actually have quoted, to actually give him the leeway to say what he wanted to say. So he actually would have ended up actually speaking out of order and things like that. And so what the Senate President Godswill Akpabio did was to rule him out of order. In other words, it was like saying, I want to say this, and then the Senate President would say, no, you can't say that. Probably because the Senate, the rule, the order on which you want to, or the order on which you want to act, it doesn't actually permit you to do that. And being, a high-ranking, a member of the Senate, Ali Ndume actually felt, he wasn't fairly treated, and then decided to stage a walk and things like that. Although, according to reports, he later returned, to join his colleagues for an executive session and things like that. But apparently, I think it was something that didn't go down well with, first of all, the Senate leadership and, majority of citizens, and things like that. Now, could be, like you did rightly say, why should a senator actually walk out of the Senate during plenary? Now, we could say that maybe his indignation, his anger probably was justified. But again, on another hand, why would it be justified? Because, the order he quoted was even the wrong order, number one. And then number two, even if he felt that, he wasn't treated, courteously by the Senate President, we would expect that a person of his caliber, having been in the Senate for a reasonably long period of time, we would expect that he should have exercised some restraint, could be. There's what psychologists call emotional intelligence, right? Ability to exercise adequate control over feelings and emotions. We should learn to override our feelings. If he had done that, the issue would have been that he was being treated in such a manner, but he was able to manage his feelings at that moment. So it wouldn't have been, the discussion these days would not have been against him.
Definitely.
Yes, it would have been that, he was not treated in a manner expected of, know the Senate President?
Well, I've told you this, Kobe, and we're on air, but I feel I could say this. I mean, during preparations for unity train and things like that on daily basis, sometimes one or two things go wrong, right? But sometimes after program, I'll be like, Kobe, you didn't draw my attention to X, Y, Z, and you'll be like, no, that's nothing, right? You know, I think that is emotional intelligence. You know, you can't get angry over everything. You know, so I had expected, you know, Senator Ndume to exercise some restraint and not walk out of, you know, of the Senate. But at the same time, could be, again, I feel that, you know, there might just be a need for, you know, well, we didn't get to hear what Ndume had to say about, you know, how he feels the Senate is being run by Senator Akpabio and things like that. Well, but I still feel that, you know, there might just be a need for the Senate leadership, you know, especially under, you know, Senate President Akpabio to probably review the modus operandi of the Senate, you know, because you and I do know this, Kobe, and citizens also know this. You know, Senator Akpabio has come under fire on a few occasions, not long after assuming, you know, Senate presidency, I mean, as presidency of the Senate and things. At some point, you know, when they were going on recess, I mean, you and I know what happened, you know, and citizens felt, look, you can't be saying this on you know, I mean, you can't be saying this, you know, you can't be saying such a thing, you know, I mean, in such a manner when millions of citizens are actually watching and things like that. Number one. And then number two, just lately, you know, I stumbled on a report again suggesting that, you know, there are moves by, you know, some senators to actually, you know, impeach Senator Akpabio, apparently because they feel that he probably has been too loyal or too submissive to the president, you know, and that could end up actually being antithetical to the aspirations of the Senate and things like that. You know, this is the issue. So you can actually see, you know what, and I do know that sometimes some of these things have something to do, you know, with what actually happened, you know, the politics that actually preceded, you know, the inauguration of the 10th Assembly and things like that. So certain people actually lost out. Beautiful. Certain people lost out of the race, and so they feel, you know, we must do something to give the you know, the leadership a bumpy ride and things like that. But we always say that you know, politics and governance should actually not be, you know, misconstrued. I think that you know, whatever might have happened before, you know, the inauguration of the Senate, and I mean, should actually now be history. It's now time to concentrate on governance, on nation building. It's time to hit the ground running, and not to actually hit the ground ruining, like somebody would say. That's the issue.
Not to hit it. You know, well, this is please, before we go further on this, don't you think it's good that the senator had to leave the plenary in such a manner? Because I wouldn't want a situation where to have, you know, to experience where, you know, they begin to pull punches. Even, you know, we've seen situations like that.
Yeah, we saw that a few days ago.
If he was not able, maybe he felt he was not able to manage his emotion that much, that he wouldn't want a situation where the emotion will get to a peak where he begin to pull punches against each other. Yeah,
it's better
to just go out and
you're actually right. And you're actually right. In this country, we had seen such instances in the past. I do remember. Well, I don't want to mention names and we're on air, you know, but I do remember that, you know, at some point in the past, we had senators, you know, reps members actually exchanging punches or banters, you know, in the Senate or, you know, reps floor and things like that. You know, we had actually seen that in the past, and thank God, you know, there seems to have been a paradigm shift as far as you know, such a situation is. We've not seen that lately, and I think that's quite commendable. But again, like I was trying to say, I feel that I mean, I don't even see that happening. I do remember that you know, of course, Honorable Idris Maji, you know, and you know, Tajuddin Abbas, current Speaker of the House of Reps, actually did exchange, you know, words at some point in time in the past and things like, and that also was something that, you know, was a bit embarrassing and all of that. Such things do happen, you know, once in a while. But in the case of Ahmed Lawal, I mean, in the case of Idris Maji, you could actually see, you know, he made his point, right? He, you know, he stood there to actually make his point and things like that. Now it's normal to have such spats or arguments from time to time, but I feel that like I was trying to say, you know, why do we even call them senators? Why do we call the Senate, you know, the you know, the upper chamber? It's because we expect that it's actually made. We expect some level of maturity, you know, and things like that among the people who occupy, that particular, level of the legislature, right? We expect that the people who were there, I mean, if you look at the antecedents, you understand the age, the life experiences of the people who occupy, you will expect some level of
the age.
So you will expect some level of clear-headedness, some level-headedness, some maturity, some, and all of this. That is why I have some reservation about the manner in which, Senator Ndume actually went about, what happened yesterday. But at the end of the day, I feel that, what has happened has happened. We need to learn from it and just move forward.
So, but the lesson here is that for everyone is that you always have your colleague, someone with whom you always, on a daily basis, do one thing or the other in order to better this very country. And so whenever you seem to have a dispute, which of course is inevitable, there will always be some conflict because of some ideas, some
conflicting interests,
interest goals and things. But once it comes, find a way to manage it and still come to unite and then still deliver and do that which you ought to do day after day. And so that's the lesson for every one of us. And so, but let's just go to seeing this one on Vanguard. It's a PDP crisis. G5 governors regroup in Abuja. Hold talks with Tinubu, Mr. President. G5 coming all together. Now, let's see what happens.
Well, that's funny, isn't it? And I hope that
from different political parties,
right? You say, definitely, specifically from the PDP. Like the HAUSA person will say, when a dog sniffs, at a pair of shoes, it's about to take it. So this romance, between the APC and some PDP, stakeholders is something that,
as a political analyst, you can already predict
what is likely to be the outcome. And I believe that naturally the APC, the PDP must be worried that something fishy or sinister might just be going on behind the scene, especially with this dramatic persona in the form of Nyesom Wike, in the middle of it all. I always say that Nyesom Wike is Nigeria's Donald Trump. Very controversial, always looking for trouble, here and there. And I feel, some people even said that.
But trouble for governance, I want to believe. To some extent, some trouble he makes, ended up in bringing about some, physical things that we could see.
Yeah, definitely. I will tell you this, Kobe. I always confess this anytime I have an opportunity to talk about Nyesom. I love Nyesom Wike. Very courageous, very brave, and very hardworking, very pragmatic. And you need to see how he has been able to turn around, River State when he held swear as, I love that man. But again, like I did say, he just loves looking for trouble. He just loves looking. We will never stop looking for trouble.
Okay, now,
and things like that. But despite that, could be, you have to give it to him as a politician and things like that. Now, apparently, or maybe we could say that he's trying to win over, more converts. Like the scriptures will always say, winning more converts.
But is he himself now an APC?
Yeah, well, we can't say, and that is why the PDP has to worry. And the PDP has questioned his loyalty and fidelity to the party severally, especially given that he now serves, in an APC-led government and things. Like, of course, Nyesom Wike has come out severally to say, look, I'm still PDP, I'm still pro-PDP, I'm still, 100% loyal to the PDP. Yeah, he did say that, boastfully, sometimes.
But that he said no one can drive him out of PDP does not mean he cannot go to APC.
Yeah, well, but again, saying that nobody can actually expel him from the party might just mean that he wants to stay in the party and so far I've not seen anything to probably suggest that he probably wants to leave the PDP and things like that. But it remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. The government has only just settled, and so it remains to be seen what actually happens as a result of all this drama we're seeing on a daily basis, in the political space. But the issue here is this. Of course, at some point in time, there were serving governors who felt, they didn't like, what the PDP then actually did as far as, the presidential race was concerned, right? Specifically, Atiku Abubakar, actually had, fell out of favor with Nyesom Wike as a result of his refusal to, prevail on the PDP, to actually zone, the chairmanship of the PDP, to the southern part of the country, as Nyesom Wike would actually have wanted, given the fact that the presidential candidate of the party, Atiku Abubakar, was actually from the northern part of the country. Now, as a result of that, Nyesom Wike succeeded in actually mobilizing some serving governors, right? Against the PDP. You understand? Apparently to protest, what he felt was, you know, an unfair treatment of the southern part of the country by the PDP and all of that. These persons, of course, we're talking about Samuel Otom of Benue State, you know, Nyesom Wike himself, who then was governor of Rivers State, and then Ifeanyi Ugwanyi of Enugu State, and then Kezie Ipazu, Abia State, and of course Seyi Makinde. You know, these 5 persons actually, you know, constitute, you know, the group of 5, you know, governors who actually, you know, turned their back against. In fact, according to reports, some of them worked, you know, against the interests of the PDP in the presidential election, which was why the PDP was not even able to deliver some of these states and things like that. This is the issue. So it appears that you know, the war is not yet over, because like we rightly mentioned, you know, the G5, the group of 5 ex-governors are in a meeting, you know, have actually had a meeting with President Tinubu, you know, and things like that. Of course, Nyesom Wike did actually mention that the meeting was nothing other than, you know, just, you know, an opportunity to deliberate on national issues and see what can be done to give these persons an opportunity, you know, to contribute to the nation building agenda and things like that. But it remains to be seen. We don't know what's going to happen. Of course, like I did mention, as a result of these moves, you know, it is natural to question the fidelity or the, you know, loyalty of Nyesom Wike and these ex-governors, you know, and all of that. But, you know, it remains to be seen. And what I do know could be is that, you know, most times, it's even in developed climes, you hardly see a situation where, you know, I mean, a stakeholder of a certain political party is actually serving in, you know, a different party where he's not a member. You understand? Of course, in Nigeria, we have always talked about a government of national unity and things like that. I do know that, you know, late President Yar'Adua actually extended the olive branch to, you know, Muhammadu Buhari, who had lost out of the presidential race then, you know, but Buhari turned it down and said, look, I'm not in the PDP, so I have nothing to do with a government, I mean, and a PDP government and things like that. So I think we should have a situation where people, you know, politicians are able to operate on the basis of, you know, clearly defined ideological leanings and things like that. We should be able to say, look, I'm PDP, and, you know,
and I believe in the ideology
I'm
of
in PDP. I'm in PDP. If you want to give, you know, advice or suggestions on how best things can be done, you can do that. But of course, being a member of a political party and then serving in an opposition political party is something that will seem to always raise questions about your fidelity, you know, and things like that. But it remains to be seen what comes out of this in the
yes,
coming
of course.
days.
We have just 3 minutes to be out of this segment, but we have this one. Let's see what we can do. This one says federal government to partner with private sector to reverse medical tourism. Okay, we just have 3 minutes now to go on this.
Yeah, well, Dr. Abayomi Kuyoro, you know, the managing director of Iwosan Lagos Hospitals in Lagos, was actually commissioning a certain medical facility, and then he drew attention to the need to, you know, see what, you know, can be done to partner the private sector in order to reposition the health sector, you know, and make it attractive, you know, for tourist purposes and things like that. I mean, you and I know could be that, you know, Nigerians actually spend billions of naira on annual basis, you know, to seek medical attention abroad and things like that. And I feel that, you know, like we've always said, giving the countries, you know, huge, you know, resources and things like that, I don't see why. It's ironical that we always have to, you know, we always have to be seen running, you know, helter-skelter, looking for, you know, or in search of medical, you know, attention in developed climes and things like. And the question I have always asked is, if these countries we run to on daily basis had not actually fixed, you know, their health system, we wouldn't be running there to seek, you know, medical attention and things like that. You know, President Muhammadu Buhari spent 273 days, you know, in London, you know, seeking medical, you know, attention and things like that, and that was actually in spite of the billions of naira that had been spent on actually, you know, renovating the presidential wing of the Aso Rock Hospital and things like that. You know, this is the issue. According to certain reports, between 2020 and 2022, over 10 billion naira was spent on actually renovating, you know, or equipping the Aso Rock Hospital. You understand? This is what happened. But I do also recall that, Of course, in 2017, when the then First Lady Aisha Buhari went to the Aso Rock Hospital, she complained that there was even no syringe in that hospital. This is the issue. And then a few years later, again, Hado Tazara Buhari also called out, the permanent secretary of the Aso Rock Clinic, Jalal Arabi, for not being able to provide, as little as paracetamol in that hospital. This is the issue. But like I did mention, this is a hospital that has continued to gulp hundreds of millions on annual basis. This is the issue. And so I think there's need for some sort of introspection. We need to look inwards, could be. We can't be spending billions of naira on Aso Rock Hospital, and things like that, and then the president, his family, his daughters, his cabinet members are not even utilizing it. This is the issue. And so I think, this call is quite timely. We need to see what we can do to fix the entire health system so that we can save, according to some reports, just before we round up on this, about $1.6 billion is spent by Nigerians on medical tourism abroad. I'm talking about $1.6 billion, not naira. You were talking about probably trillions or close to that. This is the issue. So now imagine that we actually invest this money, internally, and things like that. So I think there's need for some sort of introspection as far as this is concerned. Probably, if we're able to do that, first of all, we'll set billions of naira, and then we'll be able to generate, or diverse sources of income and things like that.
Thank you very much, Doro. Our listener and our viewer is 8:30 a.m. This lovely Wednesday morning. We'll go on a short break. I beg that you stay tuned because we'll be coming back and it's going to, be another dimensions. We need you to stay around. Stay tuned, please.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs some love. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way.
It concerns you. It a kill love, it a kill dreams. It a land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune into Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you have kept your dial locked to this very station, and the program remains Unity Train on Unity 93.3 FM. Beatrice Adamo is my name, but you can just call me Kubi. That will go down well with me. There is just one thing I want to tell you before we just begin to discuss this topic, the topic that we have for today. There is just one thing that you cannot let go, and that is peaceful coexistence. Let's do our best to live in peace with our neighbors. And thank you for staying tuned. Now it's time for us to begin to look at the topic of discussion. Before I do that, Mr. Doro remains in the studio. If you don't mind, let him say another big good morning to you, our listener and our viewer. Mr. Doro?
Thank you, Kubi. Good morning, viewer and listener. Thank you for being there.
Yes, of course, matters arising from recent tribunal judgment in Plateau State. We'll be looking at that. And so we have in the studio this morning Honorable Eli Bako and Kala. He will tell you some more about himself as the discussion goes on. And so we'll let him say good morning to our listener and of course to our viewer. Honorable, it's good to have you in the studio.
I'm good to have you too. Thanks for having me.
All right. You're so audible, and I feel our listener will not have problem with, getting to hear your voice because you are projecting already.
Thank you.
And I want to believe politically you are projecting.
Thank you.
All right. I'm so happy to have you in the studio.
Happy to be here.
So can you just tell us, so far, what do you make of the recent tribunal? Let's just begin there. Judgment.
Well, the tribunal, to the best of my ability and understanding, the tribunal went well.
Oh, great.
Even though you can't have it all. That's the beauty of life and beauty of democracy.
Okay.
You can never have it all. At some point in time, you get each. You stumble and fall. It's just like they say that when you are moving, the road can never be smooth.
All true.
You can never have it all true or smooth.
All right.
So you got to keep on striving till you get it smooth.
All right. Okay. You're one of those who contested the recent elections that we have in Plateau State and of course Nigeria. So you also vie to become that wonderful person who would represent the good people of Irigwe Rukuba constituency. And so let's get to know the judgment now as it relates to your how does it feel that how was it the judgment and how does it feel? What's your take?
Were you actually surprised? How did you feel when Justice Tukur actually ruled in your favor? Because of course you were the APC's candidate for Basa Rukuba Irigwe constituency in the elections, and the judgment went your way and all of that. I mean, were you surprised? Did you see that coming? Did you expect it?
To be honest, I was not surprised.
Okay.
I perfectly see it coming.
Okay.
I was so optimistic that I was going to scale through.
Oh my.
I mean, if you look at the trend on Vivian on Plateau before the election.
Before the election.
Before the election.
All right.
When you are going into contest to the best of my ability, in whatever competition, let me use it like that, if you are going into with an opponent, I think the first arsenal you got to use is you got to make research. You make research to know his SWOT analysis, make a SWOT analysis. Know his weakness and his strength, so that you know how to go and how to take him. So I think on the Plateau, I was optimistic because before the election, there was this rumors, everybody in the Plateau knew about it, that says PDP on the Plateau has no structure to sponsor any candidate. That is before the election. So I was not surprised. And I think everybody should have seen that coming. And I saw it coming.
Okay.
So was it just a rumor, or the PDP actually didn't truly have, a structure to field candidates?
Oh, my dear brother, I wish you'd have been in the court to see the overwhelming witnesses, evidences that was presented before the court. To be honest, I was hearing PDP last structure to contest election. I was not that deep in the picture. It was after the election, the party platform sat together and said, look, these people, this is what has been going on, let's look at it. And we called the attention of our councils. And there, they put us in the picture. You can see it very glaring. Consistent disobeying the court order. There are several cases, judgment against the PDP. So in the court, we were in the court, the case started proper. That is when my eyes really opened. And I understood that these guys, they were just blabbering. There was nothing like value structure on the plateau.
For PDP?
For PDP.
Oh, my.
And when we go on and on and on, I can give you some decided cases that prove that. They have like almost like 12 judgments against the PDP. Let me know about the issue. Let me.
You have an opportunity to do that. Because of the program.
Yes.
But Justice Tukur ruled in your favor, right? Justice Tukur said the PDP had no structure to field in candidates for the election, and therefore declared you, winner of the Uruguay. I mean the election for Bassa, Uruguay state constituency.
Yes.
What do you make of the judgment?
Oh my!
Was that a good judgment?
Justice Tukur has given me a reason to believe that the judiciary system of Nigeria is working.
Because it's in your favor?
Not just because it's in my favor, because with the overwhelming witnesses presented and the evidences before him, Justice Tukur is one of a kind. I can tell you that there's been this propaganda rumors that some people have been bought, some people have. I can bet you with every bit of my life, there has nothing exchanged hand between any of us, me and Tukur, or anyone that I know. And Tukur is the guy that vowed that he was going to go according to the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria and the bylaws that govern the processes of electoral act. To which he acted it strictly, and his judgment, I can bet you that it was strictly based on evidences provided for him that he used to make that judgment. So Tukur, I would not that in my favor, but I would send anybody to tell you that guy and his crew, he was not only one, there were 3 of them, and all of them, their judgment went together. So those guys were superheroes to me.
Oh my! So, well, now we know appealing and the battle still continues now. So what do you expect? Do you think you still have the same thing, even as the case is taken up there for appeal?
Well, like I said, a case, I'm an accountant by profession. And when in school, we're all educated here, you have borrow courses. We have this company law, law of contract. Then I understand that when there's an argument between somebody violated a contract between him and his opponent, the person run to court. And before the court will make a judgment, they always refer back to decided cases. Was there any case that cited something similar to that, so that they will lean on it and pass their judgment?
Okay.
So, in the appeal court, I am very optimistic again, and I'm so confident that I am going to scale through, because there are decided cases that the appeal court itself passed judgment stating PDP that PDP are in total disobedience of the court order on the plateau, and therefore the last structure to sponsor any candidate. Those verdicts were passed by the Court of Appeal. So the appellate court will surely not overrule itself. So I'm very sure that I'm going to scale through.
Well, because of your optimism so far, you remained so optimistic all through, even with the question that has to do with the future, as we also see what becomes at the appeal, you still remain optimistic. And so why don't you, what would be your priority if, peradventure, somehow you become member representing the good people of Uruguay Rukuba? So what would you love to do differently from what you've seen so far?
Well, before I even answer that, I think I am the member now. Except you want to overturn the judgment of justice.
Wow. Who am mine? Mine is just to congratulate you.
That day was said the certificate should be given to me. So I'm waiting for INEC to call me for my certificate.
Congratulations then.
Thank you, my brother.
So you're actually the member.
I'm actually the member.
That's funny, isn't it?
In the eyes of the law, I'm the member.
Yeah, as far as the law is concerned.
As far as the law is concerned, I'm the member.
But again, the decision you are being challenged at the appeal court.
Yeah.
Do you think that your opponent was right to have gone to to the appeal court?
Well, it's a free world. Everybody is entitled to his own opinion. Though I may not feel right about it. If you ask me, I would have said, you should have congratulated me. And then to embrace me as a brother, and we continue. But he feel otherwise. He feels he still have a chance. So he's going to pursue it. So I can't say I wish him good luck, but we shall see.
You don't wish him good luck?
How can you wish somebody good luck on something they are looking for? If God answers a prayer, then you are finished.
All right, okay.
Wow.
Okay, now, Honorable Eli, now, you said you expected a congratulatory message from him.
Yeah.
Did you congratulate him when he was,
Declared winner of the election.
Yeah, you see, in politics, there's no permanent enemy, no permanent things like that, friend. And when you are venturing into politics, you got to. I read so many books before I venture into it.
All right.
And I started politics right in my school's days.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I started. I applied for school senate, school SUG president. I later finished as a senator of the department.
Oh, I see.
See, before going into that, you have to build in your mind. It can be good, it can be bad. And you have to adopt the spirit of sportsmanship.
All right.
That's what I wish I did. So immediately the court, the INEC pronounced him as the winner of the election, as the spirit of sportsmanship. I got to congratulate him.
All right, you did.
I did.
Okay.
I called him as a brother. I said, congratulations.
Oh, my. Okay.
Yeah, I did. And that will not stop me from seeing other angle.
Yes.
Something wrong, or something went wrong. But that was say he would to congratulate me too.
Okay, it's your time to be
It's
congratulated.
courtesy. Life should be courtesy.
Oh, I see.
Now, did you did say that you had expected him to simply say, okay, Honorable Eli Bako, congratulations on your judicial victory and all of that.
Perfect.
And you also would have loved him not to go to the appeal court to challenge.
Perfect.
To challenge, Justice Tukur's, decision to declare you winner,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
But you did congratulate him and still went to court, despite congratulating him. Isn't that ironical? Why would you expect him to, not go to court to challenge a decision that went in your favor, but then you also, didn't do likewise when he won the election? Why didn't you decide to rescind your decision to go to court despite congratulating him?
Well, this is a very clever question.
Yes, it is.
You see, life is ironical. I remember vividly, he summoned me at the King Palace in our ward in the village.
All right.
We happened to come from the same ward with him.
Oh, my.
Yes, we're from the same ward.
Oh.
So
Electoral ward.
Electoral ward.
Wow.
We're from the same ward. So he, at a time, I think some months ago, he and some of our village heads and our district head, they invited me. I went. So they were like, why should you take your brother, a brother to court? You shouldn't have done that. You guys should have just embrace him and say congratulations. Your brothers, whichever way is win-win. He took me to them, and they called me as my kinsman, which I obey, and I went. But I explained that decision was not. I was not an independent candidate. There's no such in Nigeria constitution yet. You can't run as an independent candidate.
You were sponsored by a party.
You must sponsor by a political party, and that political party
must have a structure.
You must
Is that what you were saying?
You must have a structure. A valid structure.
It's what you said, not me.
Yes.
All right, go on.
You must have a valid structure.
Okay.
So that platform that which you contest on, you run on, has the final say on you.
Okay.
Your decision doesn't really matter. When the platform says we go this way, you go that way, except you were a mold. So I told them that this is the decision of my party. I was not the one. It's the party, and I got to obey the party, because the party, whatever I am now, whoever I'll be in politics,
it's the party.
It's the party. I can't go against my party. So it's the party, and I plead with them. I said, since you all believe it's win-win, it's either me or him. So let's just have prayer on the judiciary system. If it works, if it's me, fine, I'm the son of the soil. And if you go contrary, he still continues. So since he was able to take me and believe that I shouldn't have gone to the court, that's why I'm saying the same thing here.
Okay.
He shouldn't have even gone too.
All right.
To make it 50-50.
Okay.
If I was wrong, will I encourage my brother to be wrong?
No.
But is it that you are wrong at all?
I say it's my party. I was not wrong.
All right then. Okay, but we've been talking about he. Who is this he? Can we let's yes. Who is this he?
Ibrahim Agbalak.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
From the PDP, right?
From the PDP.
Okay.
Honorable Ibrahim Agbalak.
Okay.
Yeah.
So earlier on, I asked you your priorities, if peradventure, and you said you needed a congratulations, which of course I did. So, what would you prioritize for the good people of Irigwe Rukuba constituency?
To be honest, when campaigning, I have this notion. I have so many plans for the good people of Rukuba Irigwe constituency.
Okay.
Like, before venturing into anything, you have to go into prayers and ask God, what is it that you want me to do?
Okay.
Which I did. And to be honest with you, my findings, Rukuba Irigwe, be honest with you, what that was in me, anywhere I go campaign, either Rukuba or Irigwe, I don't promise. I have never promised anything. My promise was one.
Okay.
I said, look, every constituency or every society has its own peculiarity, its own problem. And I noticed that the problem we have, Rukuba Irigwe, is unity.
All right.
We are lacking unity, love. And that's why when I was venturing into it, my campaign slogan was love.
Okay.
And anywhere I go to be living, sincerely speaking, I preach about love. And I said, as a people, I can't promise you that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that, because that would be fallacy. My promise to them, and I believe it, and I meant it in my heart, after the appellate court, I'm going to carry it, is unity between Irigwe man and Erukuba man. I will pursue that with all of my ability. We have to unite before we hedge forward. What do we want as a people?
Okay, but you see, thank you very much, and it's lovely to know that you've already known what the peculiarity of your constituents, and so you have already come up with what you would love to do, which of course you say you're emphasizing on unity. That's perfect. But you see, unity is not substantial. It's not something you can just feel. And the people, most often, the electorate will want to see something that they can feel, and they would say, you have done something for them. How long do you think you would walk over this unity thing and get through, and then begin to have some developmental projects that are, physically seen for people to say, yes, Honorable Eli has really done this for us?
Yeah, you see, when you start with unity, from there we get to understand ourselves. And then the first agenda in my mind was to tackle the issue of security.
Okay.
I have plans that I will set on mechanisms to engage these youths, our youth. There are avenues now with this vigilante, with this there is avenue that you can register for them. You understand? They will become a kind of a legal entity that will run
Okay.
in safeguarding the society first. And that incurs money. And that was my first thing. If we are united, then we have a joint kind of security outfit between the Irigwe and the Rukuba, and even extend it to the satellites.
Okay.
That was my first priority. After unity, then we tackle security.
Okay. Unity, security.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I think this is a wow, right?
Yeah, of course, there has to be security of lives before any other thing can actually work. But honorable member, I can't call you honorable member now, because as far as we know, and legally speaking, Honorable Ibrahim Agbalak
in the eyes of the law, right?
Yes.
Yeah, well, but Honorable Ibrahim Agbalak is in court, right? And unless, until the court, the appeal court eventually decides,
right.
he is the legally recognized, occupant of that position at the moment. Now, I'd like to ask, you did say earlier that you believe to your mind that the PDP actually, didn't actually have a valid structure to field candidates, and you also said you could, cite decided cases, and things like that. Can you give us, a few instances why, if you were to be asked in just one sentence, why you think, the PDP should not have fielded candidates? What would be your response?
Well, you see, there was a case of Bitrus Kaze and 11 others versus PDP. That's far back 2001. which it was a party issue. Honorable Kazi and his colleagues took the PDP to court because they were not satisfied on how their congresses were run. And there was a judgment passed by Justice Gang nullifying that congress and ordered the PDP to go and conduct fresh congresses, not have congresses, fresh congresses. And in that, PDP refused to comply. When we came to the point of local government election, the Plateau, they didn't participate. That judgment held them down. That's why you see they couldn't participate in the local government election. Because when at the time of the election, Kaze and his colleagues, they took them to the PLASEC. They said we don't have valid structure to fill in candidate, to sponsor any candidate. And the INEC, PLASEC, and PLASEC comply duly with the court submission. They brought the judgment, and the PLASEC saw that yes, there was a judgment, and the PLASEC excluded them from participating in the local government election, to which they went to the Court of Appeal. Justice Kunda still nullifies it. He says, you are still in total disobedience of the court order. Until when you obey the court order, then you can be able to have a valid structure, an existing legal structure to sponsor any candidate. Until then, you are still not complying with the justice with the judgment.
What about the election the PDP conducted? What about the congresses the PDP conducted on December 25, 2021?
I can bet that was just a purported congresses. There are evidences, like I said, during the court, there are evidences showing that congresses did not take place. We have a witness who came. He said, I was part of the committee to conduct that congresses. But at the process that day, they got a court injunction, a restraining order from the court, not to conduct such congresses. And he left. As to whether they conduct the congresses, they went ahead to conduct the congresses despite the court order. He doesn't know. But to his own responsibility, he was a member of the committee to conduct the congresses, and he has to leave because there was a restraining order from the court, not those congresses not to go on. And I can bet you that even if you go through, I go through it, I have all those evidences. I can even give you to your own consumption. At that congresses, let me assure you that even as they claim that the congresses took place, the report shows that only 5 local governments participated.
In the 2021 congresses?
Yes, September 25th, 2021. Only 5 local governments.
Out of the 17?
Out of the 17.
Okay.
It maintains to know that my opponent, Agbala, was in the witness box. He was asked. They said, were you there when the Congress? He said, yes, I was there. And then they said, Justice Gang order for only the state congresses, or he ordered the PDP should go and conduct total over congresses at fresh. They said the congresses should be conducted afresh, which means Justice Gang ordered it to go and conduct congresses based on the constitution and guidelines of the PDP. And I can bet you, the PDP constitution stated very clearly in Article 49, subsection 1, it says the mode of conduct of congresses in PDP shall commence from the what? Local government, then state, with the exception of federal capital, which shall be based on geopolitical for fear of representation. But he was asked, okay, you were there at the landfill. He said yes. You conduct congress, yes. And they get him to read it. How many local government participate? He said 5.
Out of 17.
Out of 17 based on the report. They say why 5? He said because of court order. And everybody went into laughing. So you have 17 local government, and only 5 local government will come and conduct congresses for the whole state, to represent the whole state, only 5 local government. And he was asked, can you give us the report of your own ward? Let's start from your ward. Where is your report that shows you conduct congresses? He said no. Where is the local government report? No. Where congresses are to go and conduct only in landfill? I think these guys knows what they are doing. They know what is happening. They know it on ground. That's why you see, even before the election, everyone on the plateau knew that PDP don't have structure to sponsor any candidate, and we are not challenging that. I'm not challenging that Ibro Abala, you are not supposed to conduct election. You are not supposed to participate in election with me. No, I am saying, my brother, your party is not in existence. They are ghosts
at the moment.
They are ghosts.
Okay.
Based on the verdict of my judgment, they are ghosts. That was why the election was notified and given to me. So I'm speaking on my behalf.
Oh, thank you very much.
Well, I wish
time, you know.
Yeah, I wish we could. I wish Honorable Ibrahim Agbala was here to, made very interesting revelations as far as these issues are concerned, and you are also here to give your own, responses and things. I wish he was here so that we could see how this goes, with both of you in the studio. But of course, there are things to which we can't respond because we are not politicians, and these are the issues.
Oh, so, thank you very much.
And if you permit me,
yes,
there is this notion.
Less than a minute, please.
Yes, there's this notion that this particular case, there's a case of Musa Aga versus Alkali.
Yes.
Last year, just October 28th. I'm citing that of the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal held that the PDP last structure to fill in any candidate for that by-election, and that's where Musa Aga was removed and Alkali declared as the winner
of PRP.
Of PRP, just last year, in the same issue that PDP last structure to sponsor any candidate. Has anything changed between then and now?
But Justice Rotimi actually ruled this time around in favor of Musa Aga.
Oh, thank you very much, gentlemen.
Well, Justice Rotimi is his own opinion, but like I told you, there are evidences which he didn't follow.
All right.
And the PDP, let me just give me please a minute.
Yes.
The PDP are in this illusion that there was a case between one Augustine Tunkup in February. Let me tell you that case was that's a pre-electoral matter because it's a PDP versus PDP, and Augustine Tunku took PDP to court. He was not satisfied with the primaries. He was an aspirant, and he took them to court that we don't have a valid source to fill in a candidate, and the PDP did not win their first ground in that case. In that case, was not we have structure.
All right.
Was that was based on preliminary objection that Augustine Tunku filed that case at the late hours.
Oh, thank you.
So the case should not be entertained. The case should be thrown out because he filed that case at the late hour. Their case was not that we have structure. So they should get that illusion out of the brain and they tell their followers the truth that we Augustine Tunku was totally different from what we're talking about.
All right, thank you very much.
And the court answered their prayer.
All right, all right. And the court answered their prayer. On this note, we're going on a short break. We want you to stay tuned because when we come back, it's all going to be your segment. And so you better stay tuned, I beg.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your... Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was... Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again.
So much. I'm so glad to be in the studio this lovely Wednesday morning. Is the 18th day in the month of October 2023. Gradually, we are coming to the end of the year. We pray that God take us there. Someone say amen. Thank you.
Amen.
All right, in the studio this morning, my listener and of course our viewer. It's been Honorable Eli. Oh my, it's interesting. And this is your segment. You need to call us and let's hear from you. Before you do that, it's good to know that we cannot take any sort of confrontation.
Definitely.
We will not tolerate comments that will deter every effort to ensure sustenance of peaceful coexistence. And so, you may need to stick to the rules, promoting peaceful coexistence. That's what we do here. The line to join us is 070323353315. And if you want to go on Facebook, it's Unity Radio FM/TV Jos. Drop your comment. I'll read it at the appropriate time. If you want to send an SMS, short message service there, you can go 0808 478 9 in 4 places. For SMS again, 0808 478 9999. You may need to do that quickly, especially for SMS, so that I'll be able to read them before we get done with this segment. So we just let Honorable to just give him a minute, even as we put on the studio line. You have anything to say? Just a minute as we begin to receive calls, Honorable.
Yeah, I'm still battling on the issue. I love the spirit of people going into context and having it, knowing that it may be sweet, it may be bitter.
Mm.
You don't have to be creating chaos. You don't have to turn things upside down because just something didn't go on your favor.
All right. Okay. Okay. Let's begin to receive our caller. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
This is Jusa from Shirye.
All right, Jusa, please go on.
Thank you, my brother. You know, this studio, you always welcome any guest.
You're welcome.
With our 2 hands.
Thank you.
But, you know, there's a comment to make.
Yes.
Not to conform with the guest or whatever, but what I want to, little advice I want to give
Yes.
some of the guests that are coming to this our beautiful studio.
Yes.
When you come, just analyze it well so that people will be happy.
All right.
My brother in the studio, the Honorable, and our mentor.
Yes.
You in person.
Yes.
You are doing a wonderful job.
But
But let me that I want to.
yes,
hear
please
from
go on.
the Honorable.
Mm.
So you say that CDC don't have structure.
Mm.
My brother in the studio.
Mm.
How can you give birth to a child? A child will come and be telling you that you, the father, don't know anything, you don't have structure, the child has structure. Because I believe in Nigeria politics, EDC no rules and regulation of parties affairs.
Mm.
And APC are child of PDP. Because in here in the studio, I'm sure before he's a member of this PDP. It will be very, very unfortunate now. But you're asking me a question, what is that structure? Because I know my own belief that PDP have structure, and after the court ordered them to have Congress, they went and made a Congress.
All right.
And I want you to see clear us.
All right.
On this level, you could take decision, but the governor aspect of it, is it not the same judgment? The
All right.
governor now have thank you. I don't want you to clear any more about the governorship.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Jude. Thank you very much. Please, a community of intelligent listeners and viewers. And now is your time. You may want to be a part. 070323533315. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning to the road and the place in the house. My name is Peace Ambassador. We're calling from Gengeri.
Thank you very much. Peace Ambassador, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. Because you say it all.
You're welcome.
But I want to ask you like 2 to 3 questions.
Oh, mine. You're welcome.
First of all, issue of security in your area.
Yes.
What are you doing for vigilante, neighborhood watch, and hunters?
Okay.
Because they are doing a lot of things in the society. Do you make anything pertaining them, or do you, for your own memory, do you think that you have something tangible for them because they used to take care of people. Secondly, police and police, if Apply could give you this mandate,
Yes.
I beg you in the name of God, carry everybody along, irrespective of his tribe, religion, party, and affiliation. Police and police.
Thank you.
And anytime if you are in a studio, police and police don't call anybody in any such as name. Please focus on the question that they ask you.
Thank you.
May Almighty Allah bless you. May Almighty Allah guide you and put your people in your mind.
Thank
Be a servant of your people. If Apply could give you this mandate, I come in peace. My name is Abdullah Rochiboy from Genjari.
Abdullah Rocky Boy, a peace ambassador there. Still calling for peace. What do you have for vigilante hunters, neighborhood watch, and so on and so forth? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. Our first mother calling us this morning. Yes, of course. You're welcome.
Good morning.
A minute.
Good morning.
Hello?
Hello,
Yeah,
good morning.
Okay.
Thank you. You have a minute.
I said, yes, thank you very much. I just want to commend you for doing the needful, inviting both sides. You are always, on time.
Thank you.
Inviting the both sides so that we'll hear from both sides.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
So my problem now is, some judges will say PDP don't have structure. Some others will say they have structure. Me, I don't know. I'm confused. I don't know who will hear or who will listen to now. So I just want to say that our judges, judiciary should be given autonomy so that they don't, nobody will play with them or pay them to,
Or interfere in their...
Definitely.
so that they'll always be true to what they are saying.
All right.
Because this thing now, every time we will hear this one, where are we going to? I think the politicians too, they should learn that sometimes when we have elections, if you win, okay, go ahead. But if we, at the end of the day, if you don't do the right thing, we the electorate, we should learn that we are going to send you away if you don't do it after 4 years. Because these politicians, when they are there, they think they are going to stay there for 8 years because we the electorate have taught ourselves to be things. So I think we electorate to learn our lessons. When somebody does not do the right thing, we should just throw it away the next election.
Thank you.
And then too, they should stop going to court, going up and down.
Thank you.
Forgetting about the government which they are supposed to pay. This thing is wasting our time. Before we do it now, it is going to be 4 years.
All right. Thank
We are
you.
going to court up and down.
Thank you, Madam Christie.
God bless you. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Madam Christie Izam from Rukubarot, the first lady to call us on today's edition, and so we gave her all the time. But anybody after her, please, let's try to just do everything within a minute. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. V.
Oh, amen. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please go on, a minute. Please go on.
Thank you very much. You see, my take this morning is on this issue of the election matter being repeated. Court has said, PDP has a structure. Well, now they are still saying PDP do not have a structure. So my question for your guest is this: what if it is not PDP that wins the election? Will they be saying that PDP did not have structure? You see, in this country, only someone that is very influential that has something to be accused of. You see, that's just my major challenge in this country. But when PDP do not have a structure, why did the people now come out to vote for PDP? Did they want to depenalize Nigerians? You see, that's one of the things that INEC and the court need to do. That's why we said this issue should not be a continuous process. It should be during election. Let them just be like referee. The next step of peace to always raise.
All right.
Thank you and God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dewumi, calling there. Still talking about conflicting judgment, structure, no structure. This, that. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. I'm Ivan calling from Jos.
Okay, it's good. Yes, it's good to have you. So,
Yes.
in a minute, please, go
I
on.
want to commend you for the balanced how you pronounce the invitation of the guest.
Okay, thank you very much. We appreciate.
Yes, really. Yesterday was the other time was PDP and now is APC.
Yes, thank you.
Actually, I want to talk about the judiciary.
All right.
We are also part of the process. People will say let it end at the election ground. Already the law says the judiciary is part of the process.
Yes.
And yes, you can also use them, give them. And I want to comment from the judges.
Okay.
For not giving to the public clearly. Because some of them fully didn't really respect the expectation.
All right.
I want to commend these people that some of them they even took it to the religion that say it's a religious individual. They did not put fun. And he said he asked the conclusion. Let them say the first one they want to say. And it's something you should have done to the question that it should be action. The one that you want, you didn't the right to go there, but the one that was against it, you can against it. When everything go your own way. Please, I want to advise you the honorable.
Yes.
Please ask the party to also the nonsense. Please talk with the party.
Thank you.
Don't allow one party to talk with the other the other. Talk about the balance.
All right.
Come out, occupy the leadership, occupy the society. Talk out your voice. Talk to balance.
Thank you. Thank you very much for calling. It seems is a first-time caller after a long while. Made a lot of points there. I'm so thrilled by the angle when each caller calls. You get to discover.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning, sir. It's good to have you already.
Yeah, I greet your guest.
Thank you.
Eric from Refuge.
Oh, mine. It's been a while. So you have a minute, please.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
You see, one of the things that every state should make a demand of in this whole thing is cutting the days. In fact, the amendment of the bill should cut the days of judiciary in the place of election.
Okay.
If 90 days is creating a lot of problems. Secondly,
yes,
your guests in the studio, like other callers have said, if people call in this studio, you see the polls and the direction people have gone in voting their candidate. So when the city or people expect a nation to people have problems, is when judiciary now is one making decision of who will run the affairs of the state. It will be a very big problem. But what you're seeing happening in Imo State is the fourth person in the ballot become the first person in the ballot. So, my brother,
yes,
there's a lot of things that is plaguing Nigeria and the citizens, and this needs to be attention to be amended, so that citizens will enjoy who they want to lead them. Your guests in the studio, if it is for me to say to him,
yes,
I would have urged him and the other APC members that Plateau State has chosen a direction, and that direction is very obvious and clear.
okay,
That PDP is what they want, even when they vote another party like Labour. Maybe it is the choice of the people that should matter, not really what is in the front corner of whether PDP has a structure or not.
Thank you.
I think that should be clear.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much, Pastor Eric from Refuge. And this one, an SMS here saying, good morning, Unity Trend. Thanks. I got your SMS number today. Babaji Denver from Mr. Ali. Oh, thank you. It means you have been there but not been able to get the SMS number except for today. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Doro and the guests in the house.
Good
Oh
morning.
my, it's good to hear you.
This is Yaku Sadi calling from Nezariya.
Please go on, you have a minute.
honestly, the judge has spoken very well, and he has chosen the Unity FM to go and say that his main agenda is unity among India and Unity.
Yeah, MISALI, you always come with
something new. Definitely.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. Please, I want to advise political parties members, please.
All right.
If you are doing something and somebody criticizes you, take him as your lover.
Yes.
You just want to correct your mistake.
All right.
Yes. So when somebody says you don't have structure, try and get the structure. That's all. Because they said this problem when they conducted the local government chairman election.
Okay.
So, and I even want to advise not only the PDP, the APC, whatsoever party. If somebody tells you that this is your problem, try and adjust.
All right. Thank you.
When you make sure that you are all right, that's all.
All right.
So that's why we need this opposition party.
All right. Thank you very much.
I want to call on the opposition parties to criticize well.
All right.
And for those people that are governing, let them to know that election is over. Now it's governance.
All right. Thank you.
So thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. MISALI. He will always make me kick some smiles out of my
definitely.
face, each time he calls.
He always comes with a unique style.
Yes. Okay, after this call, we will go down to read. Hello, good morning. It's good to have you already. Oh, it's good to have you. So please, you have a minute. Go on.
Yeah, please, I just really want to answer just a simple question, please.
Okay, please. Yes, of course. He's listening.
Hello?
Yes, he's listening.
Yeah. I want to ask you, is this election all about him or about the people?
Eric.
So if it's about the independent candidates, if he's able to win the number of votes, would the people love to vote in blue if they voted the other political parties?
All right.
I don't want you to answer that question.
Okay. You got that?
I got it.
All right. Thank you very much. Now, SMS. This one says, good morning, our gallant presenter and honorable guest in the house. Let's articulate our plans before going out to represent our people. Security, peace are important, but what about other needs that can impact lives positively? Thanks, Jacob from Kabom. Jacob from Kabom, we appreciate you. And this one says, good morning. I want to know, why is it that two separate judge has affirms that the PDP have a structure and APC are still kicking against it? Your name is not here. Please, next time, just we need to also get to have your name. And this one is saying, morning crew, I heard the PDP members saying they have structure. Now, you heard it from my able member, Eli Bako, comrade Daniel. Easy, okay? Easy, I want to believe I get it right. Okay, oh, thank you very much. So, the thing is about, we have structure, we don't have structure, they have structure, they don't have structure. Now, on our Facebook page, very quickly, thank you for news. Dan Garba say, thank you for news. Oh, my. All right, and Aminu Abdullahi Shuaibu, good morning, Kubi, and Shuaibu Doro, and your guest in the studio. I'm watching you live from British American Junctions. Actually, I am confused with the judgment of the tribunal because some judges are saying that PDP has no structure, while other judges are saying PDP has structure. But we are waiting for the appeal court judgment. Aminu, thank you very much for watching and for sending in your comments. And this one is saying, good morning, Kubi, and the guest. Balak will come out victorious at the appeal court by the grace of God Almighty. This one is from Chester Philip. Oh, mine. Okay, that's your prayer. And I believe someone out there is saying amen to your prayer, while others are saying, Okay, this one is from Ahmad Haruna Masu. He's saying, Okay, is our Unity Trend students. He say, Haruna Ahmad Masu from Yanshanu. Justice in the eyes of judiciary is based on evidence presented. It has nothing to do with reality. The reality in it is based on evidence presented. Both PDP and APC, when it comes to talk, they can speak extensively, but the reality of evidence presented will only be determined by the court. May God save us. He's a good student. He's a good student.
He's learning very well.
He's learning very fast, and even more than he's present.
Probably.
Okay, Mutala, yes, and good morning to you, Kubi. May God bless you all. Thanks for the good work, Mutala. Thank you for sending in yours. And I think this is the much we can take, and we don't have much time. Can you, Doro, I will just let Honorable to answer. Because
Definitely.
Please, it's your time to respond.
I really appreciate the callers. They all sound professional, and in fact, I'm so happy. I was waiting to hear insult, someone say. So I thank God that I didn't
our listeners and viewers don't do that. That's one thing could be we must say about our listeners and viewers. They don't do that.
Some other station, you wonder, they encourage it rather. I must say that. I must say that. But I really appreciate these ones.
Thank you.
This is how we partner together to understand.
Definitely.
And build the nation.
Yes.
Okay, so your response, please.
I will first of all go with that, the way it comes. Why did the governor tribunal went contrary to our tribunal? I think that's the first caller. What's that? His name? I forget his name.
We just have 3 minutes, so I don't know how you're going to put that together.
You see,
so please, then
go ahead and do what you can.
You see, the beauty of law is everybody will see according to the way he see it, and it may interest you to know that I will ponder on this governorship tribunal. Let me tell you, before the commences of any tribunal, the rules is that everybody will submit his prayers, and when submitting your prayers, that we either should be accepted by the judges to listen to or not to be accepted. If the judges lack jurisdiction, feel they lack jurisdiction, they cannot entertain, because they cannot say they cannot entertain it, they will not accept that prayer. And the beauty is that all party will argue as to accept it or not. And in this governorship tribunal, the first prayer that APC brought, the first ground, was they brought that PDP lack structure to contest this election, to sponsor any candidate. They lack structure to do that. And the prayer was submitted to the judges as part of our submission, which the opposition, the PDP, argue that this is a complete pre-electoral matter. The court should not accept it because it lacks jurisdiction to entertain it. And the justice says no, it can be both pre and post-electoral matter, which entertain it. And that is why in the process of the tribunal, the case was elaborated on the table, and it was hard. And APC were allowed to bring in evidences, to bring in witnesses, to testify, to attest that yes, what we are saying. It means to know that most of the people that come to testify, they are the PDP members. Some come with their nomination form for the congresses, which they didn't have the opportunity to that franchise. They didn't have the opportunity to do that.
Okay, I'm afraid you have a minute.
Well, then I don't know which one to pick now, because the question
is just anyone.
I'll go with Eric. Should we embrace? He said the people should vote. The people vote voice should rather supersede what the court will say or something. Should we run a society without the law? Can a society grow without the law? We are able to be in this studio because there are rules and regulations. You can drive from home to here because of the rules and regulations. The fact that he got the majority vote, that doesn't make it, if he's wrong, he's wrong. I will say this example. Like we were discussing somebody brought up this example. He said, in a family of 10 or 11, and the father killed, the younger one make a mistake or something, and the father shoot him dead. One among the 10 now went to court. My father killed my brother. He should be punished. And then 7 of the family went to court and said, "It's our father. Leave him. We like him like that." And the court will say, "Okay, since his family like him, go." I don't know if you get what I'm saying. That's exactly what you're asking. The fact that I didn't get 0 vote.
Okay.
Nantawa didn't get 0 vote. What was the percentage? We keep talking, when you had to talk about, we have the majority. Look at the case of Kano. The case of Kano, the difference was 165,000 votes. That of Plateau is 40-something thousand votes, which we know what happened in Jos South, in Mango, that those places were supposed to even nullify those votes. I'll come to my own places. If you want to know whether a child is being like, whether you are a true politician, you should be assessed right from your home. I won the ward, my ward, where this from the same ward, me and my opponent. I won my ward. Overwhelmingly. I was not at home.
Honorable Eli.
Somewhere, you cannot come and beat your chest and tell me that
Honorable
I was
Eli.
not voted for. What was the difference?
And I'm afraid we have to put it a stop here. What's your final word? Call for peace. Just a word, please.
Peace is something that everyone has to embrace it.
All right.
You have to believe it.
All right.
You have to believe it.
Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. And I'm so happy, to have you in the studio, our listener and our viewer. It has been an interesting one, and I'm sure Mr. Doro will testify to that. And thank you. Tomorrow is going to be another beautiful day. Do stay tuned for other programs on Unity 93.3 FM. Bye-bye.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion?